Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the monthly meeting of the Board of Health for July 20th, 2016. Please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of June 22nd, 2016.
So moved.
I'll second that motion.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. We don't have the 29th, right?
No.
Correspondence.
Was there another set of minutes?
We don't have the 29th
Not the
tonight.
29th.
There was a enclosure that we received from the fire chief regarding procedures relative to Ebola.
I remember that.
I remember seeing something about
too.
it. Oh, I don't see it in here. I'll keep looking for it. In the meantime, with us tonight is the Animal Control Officer, Animal Inspector, Mrs. Stacy Ferry. I'm going to call on Stacy to give us an update. We received notification from the Department of Public Health during the past week about the discovery of West Nile virus in mosquitoes in Worcester, and that was followed shortly by a notice that Triple E has been found in Middleborough. So I'll ask Mrs. Ferry to give us an update on those as it relates to humans and pets.
Well, with pets, equine encephalitis does have, they both have vaccines for for horses. Eastern equine encephalitis is only, we mainly concern horses. Sheep can get it, very rarely. Dogs don't usually get it. It's usually sheep, and goats can get it very rarely. Usually with your vaccines for horses, you get your Triple E vaccine and you get your West Nile vaccine. So usually our livestock are covered. West Nile virus is basically a bird disease. It kills birds. You cannot get it by picking up a dead bird. By any means, you have to be bitten by a mosquito. It has to be the blood transfer. Dogs can get it. Cats can get it. I would say any mammal can get it. Usually, you don't know dogs get it. They end up paralyzed. That's in the worst case scenario, and it doesn't happen very often with West Nile. We get West Nile and we hardly know it. We sometimes, in the worst cases, we get fevers and that kind of stuff. There's no vaccine for pets. Our pets, our dogs, our cats, for either of them. It's very rare for it to be seen in them. It usually does not kill a dog if it gets it. Sometimes they get a fever, sometimes they walk around funny, and they usually are okay. But always contact your veterinarian about what you should use on them, because they should be protected by insect repellent. You can't just use our insect repellent on animals. You need to talk to your vet about that. Horses, any kind of outstanding water, you want to clean your troughs weekly, and that doesn't mean just dump out the water. It means clean them. So there's no chance of mosquito eggs or anything in the troughs. That's going to help you prevent it. If you're a new horse owner or mule owner or anything like that, you should talk to your vet to make sure your animals have gotten the vaccines.
Okay. And as far as humans go, it's the same information that we've given out in the past. Protect yourself against mosquitoes. Dawn and dusk are the active times. There are repellents you can use, and there are some natural repellents, and there are those that contain DEET. The things around your house, clean the bird baths, check the yard to see if there are any kind of pails, buckets, containers, children's toys. Tires are almost impossible to keep water out of if they're out in the yard. There's no way to, you just have to keep dumping them, but the best thing is to get rid of them. And check screens and make sure that they fit tightly and that they don't have any little holes in them. It doesn't take much space for a mosquito to get in. But if you need any other information, you can go to the Mass Department of Public Health website, and also we have some information here. But if you have any questions, just let us know. Do you have anything else that you want to mention, Mrs. Ferry?
Bringing your pets in hot cars. I've had one in town, but we also had a resident in town that was caught out of state doing it. Don't just leave your pets at home. Don't leave your pets in the car with the windows rolled down a little. Don't leave the air conditioner on thinking it's okay, because if it's 90 outside, within 10 minutes it's 100 and almost 50 in a car. It can raise really fast, and if it's only 70 outside, it can get to be 100 in a car if you have the doors locked and the windows just cracked a little. It doesn't take much for some breeds to die from heat stroke. Your pushed-in faces breeds like your pugs, your boxers, your bulldogs, those dogs, it only takes minutes for them to die in a car like that. So please, 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 don't make me have to come out and bust your window to get your dog out.
And I've seen, the other thing I've noticed with the intense heat is people leaving their cars running.
Yes.
And with pets in them. And I'm thinking, well, that doesn't resolve anything, and there's a potential we're going to be dealing with stolen cars, stolen vehicles, or things of that nature. But the last few days, and it looks like it's coming back again, those 90-degree days, they're just unbearable.
Yeah, I had a dog try to jump out a window because it was so hot in the house on Friday.
Is that right? Wow.
Got stuck in the blinds.
You got caught in the blinds, eh? Made my day this morning reading that.
Got caught in the blinds.
There was nobody
No,
home?
Nobody
no,
home.
Right.
Nobody home, somebody's driving by, saw the dog hanging out the window, called. The person that stopped used an end of a rake to try to push him back in, but then we couldn't hear him, so we had to call the fire department so we could make sure the dog was okay. But that's probably why he tried to jump out. It was very, very hot in that house.
Was it an open window with no screen?
You know, it had a screen, he tried to jump through the screen.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. And if you have any other questions about care for pets, especially during the hot weather, feel free to get in touch with Mrs. Ferry. If you have any kind of questions, but again, in Massachusetts anyhow, and I think most of the states, if you leave an animal in a vehicle,
It's a felony charge.
and expect it's okay for somebody to smash your window to get that animal out. Thank you. Announcements. Let me see what we got in here. I know we had the new, the trash schedule. Did you put anything in the back?
No.
Okay, let me see if we got anything in here. No, I think the only announcements that we did have, which, we've already done the trash and recycle schedule. We did that at the last meeting, and we've announced it at the Board of Selectmen meeting. Oh, I know there is one, TMLP. For those of you who live in the North End and are serviced by Taunton Municipal Light Plant, here it is. Oh, it's in correspondence. Do you want to read that, Dean?
Sure. These are for all the residents who are being serviced by Taunton Municipal Light Plant. This piece of correspondence came to us to relay to those that haven't seen it in the paper. Please be advised that your electrical service will be interrupted on Saturday, July 23rd from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. That's this coming Saturday. TMLP is upgrading existing lines to serve your present and future needs and to improve the quality of electrical service. We hope this will not cause you any great inconvenience. All computers and sensitive electronic equipment should be turned off and unplugged prior to the shutdown. Again, the shutdown is going to start at 11 a.m. and last till 3 p.m. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact TMLP. Please take the following precautions. Have reserve water on hand for domestic use and minimize the use of your refrigerator and freezer by keeping the doors shut. In case of inclement weather, this outage will be rescheduled for Saturday, July 30th. Again, if you have any questions, any concerns, call 508-824-5844.
Thank you. And it's supposed to be hot this weekend. So, that's during the day. This AC won't be on. I just hope that with the work they're supposed to be doing, I'm thinking it might be moving wires. I just hope that it is moving wires and they're gonna get rid of all those second double poles we get up there along the road. Just to remind everybody, there's a new trash pickup schedule. It's available at the town website. And we have recycling every week now. So we have a 5-day pickup schedule for trash and recycling. Old business. Review, discuss, act on the trash bag bids. The solicitation of proposals to provide the town with trash bags was rejected at the last meeting. We asked for new proposals. Unfortunately, there was some kind of a mix-up, and the bidders did not comply completely with exactly what they were told to do. Again, there were 4 companies that had submitted proposals for the original request, and there were some problems with the way that those quotations were secured. So we asked to do it over again. Some of the bidders did not follow the instructions. So, gentlemen, it's my recommendation that we reject all of these bids and in the fall, prepare written request for proposals with everything spelled out on exactly how they are to respond. We had gotten some by FedEx, we got emails, it's just, they should be coming in sealed so that nobody knows what's in those envelopes until they're opened. And that way, everyone has a fair chance. So that's what I'm recommending about the bags this time.
Do you know what our inventory is?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask that.
When we rejected it the first time, you told me we were all set through at least September.
Okay.
Because I thought, well, in August, then, if we do our request, and this time it won't be emails or phone calls, it'll be written, it'll be sent out, and they will be told to respond in writing in a sealed envelope, clearly marked, like we do our
Yep.
other bids.
I know we usually get a big order just before Thanksgiving, because of the holidays. So we should be all set then.
So I'll entertain a motion to reject these bids and to solicit proposals again.
So moved.
I'll second that motion.
Motion's been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Review, discuss, and act on the third reading of the Board of Health fee schedule. We've read this 2 times now, and there was a new classification, and that was for swimming pools, non-residential swimming pools. That is a new classification, as I said. The fee for that, the permit fee for that is $100. This is not the pool you have in your backyard for your own private use. These are not residential per se. The former licensing of massage parlor or spa, that has been removed from the list because the state has taken over permitting an inspection of those. And then for retail store permit, that was lowered from $100 to $75. And the other permit that we had was,
Retail food and retail store.
Mm-hmm.
yes,
Exactly.
and that one went from $75 to $100.
Yep. That's correct.
So this is the third time we've read this, and we can put these into effect this evening. So I'll entertain a motion to put into effect the revised fee schedule that I just outlined, and this is the third reading.
So moved.
I'll second that motion.
Motion been made and seconded. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Under new business, review, discuss, and act on the Historical Society septic plan.
My name is Ken Pacheco, I'm the treasurer.
Ken, why don't you come up here, or one of these, either end.
Do you mind speaking at the podium? People have a hard time hearing, but if you're a little camera shy.
That's not my problem.
And you'll be number 13.
Could somebody speak before me? My name is Ken Pacheco, I'm the treasurer for the Dayton Historical Society. And we hired an engineer to come up with a plan for a septic system at the society. It was all contingent on approval of CPC money from the townspeople, and as you all are aware, you were at the meeting, the townspeople approved the funding for this and other things at the Dayton Historical Society. The engineer that we hired sent a letter to the board back in August 27th of 2015, asking for variances on several items. And I think that letter is, you have a copy of that letter.
Yeah, it's in the package here.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Sure.
Go ahead, Ken.
So she addressed it to the board members of the Board of Health. Attaches a plan proposed as a repair to the subsurface disposal system at 1217 William Street and related documents. They have been prepared in conjunction with requirements set forth in 310 CMR 15.000, Title 5, for the design of systems upgrades. We are requesting a variance of 1 foot from the Title 5 SAS to estimated seasonal high water table separation requirement of 4 feet, so she's asking for 3 feet, as well as variances for setbacks distances from septic tank and SAS to full foundation 6 and 8 feet respectively. I would be happy to respond to any questions you have about this proposed design, and it's from Nicole Latendra. Now, no action was taken on that because we were waiting for the funds. The town engineer reviewed her proposed plan as well as different things, and he had made some proposals that he wanted to change, and that's dated on that September 1st, 2015 letter. And our engineer on September 4th sent to the Board of Health, and I'm sure the engineer must have gotten a copy of it, with a revised plan and with the changes, and agreeing with the changes that Jerry Bernard had recommended. There was one that she felt was because of the site and everything else, it wasn't going to be possible. And your engineer, the town's engineer, Gerald Bernard, responded to that on September 13th, and his response was, I have reviewed the revised plan for compliance with Title V of the State Sanitary Code and Dayton Board of Health regulations. I find this plan adequately addresses my previous review comments stated 9/115 attached, and recommend that a disposal work permit be issued. Now, I've provided the board 3 copies of the new proposed plan stamped by the engineer, and she's also written up a new disposal form. Tony Roderick, we have, the Dayton Historical Society has picked Tony Roderick to do the project for us, and I spoke to him as recently as today, and he's going to be doing that. As we know, he's had some surgery, so we're not sure exactly when he's going to do it. And he'll fill out that second part of that permit once, or if the Board of Health approves the variances.
Okay, and the variances that are requested are, we are requesting variances for separation to groundwater, 4 foot to 3 feet. 4 feet to 3 feet, in order to mitigate grading and drainage constraints. That's one. The second one is a variance for minimum foundation setbacks for septic tank. And the third variance that they are requesting is SAS from 8 feet to 6 feet respectively. And these were all based on the original recommendations of Gerald Bernard, our engineer. So they have complied in this plan as best they could under the existing conditions, and that's what Gerald Bernard has given his approval for. So we need 3 votes, 1 on each variance, based on the recommendation of Mr. Bernard, our engineer. So I will entertain a motion to approve the variance for separation to groundwater from 4 feet to 3 feet in order to mitigate grading and drainage constraints. And all of these are for the Historical Society building at 1217 William Street here in Dayton.
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. I'll have the exact wording. You can copy right off of these, okay? The second variance is for minimum foundation setbacks for septic tank. I'll entertain a motion to approve that variance.
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion.
Is that going from 8 feet to 6 feet?
Oh, that's the third one.
Okay, okay.
No, this only deals with foundation setbacks for the septic tank.
Okay.
Any other discussion, questions? If not, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. And the third variance is for the SAS, which is the seal around the building, from 8 feet to 6 feet respectively.
So moved.
And I'll second that.
Motion been made and seconded. Any discussion? Not all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. The only thing I'm waiting for is, I had asked that our Title V person just take a look at the notes and Mr. Bernard's latest report, and then just initial this, and then I can sign these, and we'll be all set. I know that, I think we're also waiting for the renewal of the installer's permit when
Yes,
the owner
that-
is
Yes, that's correct.
well enough to be able to execute that. Okay, so,
I believe Roz has already contacted Joe Pacheco. I think she might have asked him to come in today. He's already been here this morning. I guess he
Yeah.
couldn't come back. so-
I'll leave it on my desk so he can look at it. So I think you're all set,
Thank you. Dayton Historical Society appreciates this. Thank you.
okay?
Welcome.
And we didn't keep you till the
The
next morning. Inspectors' reports. Do you have anything, Mrs. Ferry, other than what you've already given us?
Just an FYI, in Dayton, we do not have a leash law. So a dog roaming around is not a problem. It's not lost, it's not a stray, it's not a drop-off. It happens in this town. Leave them alone, don't give them water, don't give them food, they will go home. In the past week, I've had 3 people, I have a dog in my yard, I don't know where it belongs, you need to come pick it up, and I tell them, no, I can't come pick it up because we have no leash law, and they get angry, and to find out the dog belongs 3 houses from where the dog was. So you just have to, unless they are trying to bite you, unfortunately in this town, unless you pass a leash law, there's not much I can do.
Has this been a problem in the past?
Yes, leash laws, especially this time of year, because a lot of people let their dogs out more than they do during the winter. People don't understand. You know, I don't understand. It's got to be a stray. How do you know that? Well, it looks confused. And my thing is, did you ask it? Because, I mean, dogs, they wander. They just, one was a hunting dog. They're going to wander. So, unless the town wants to, pass that leash law, there's not much.
Well, besides that, there are more people outside this time of the year.
Yeah, right.
So, the dog that's out in the yard in the winter, it's not bothering the cookout
Right.
or sitting there waiting for refreshments.
That's right.
Okay, under reports, Town of Dayton yearly bulky waste and recycling comparison.
I can give a little information on this.
Okay.
We have some printed out spreadsheets from our town accountant, just tracking the bulky waste and the recycling tonnage that has gone on in this town since 2007. It's pretty interesting to see, as this town grows, the tonnage that is being picked up and taken away from the town. As a lot of you know, this is one service that some towns do not provide. It is costly. We offset the cost pretty close to 50% just by the $1.50 trash bags. A lot of people say, well, why do we have to pay for them? Well, because I don't know if the town would afford $500,000 to $600,000 to have this stuff picked up. The sale of trash bags offsets almost 50%. On the other hand, recycling, which is an art, and it's something that people have to learn how to do, and this board gives kudos to all the people in this town for recycling. Back in 2007, when it was kind of in the infant stage, surprisingly, everybody was throwing everything in there until where the destination of some of these recyclables were going started getting a little picky and said, well, we can't take everything. At that time in 2007, recyclables were being taken out of this town to the amount of 2,166 tons in a year. Since then, the vendors have been very educational, providing information to the town to pass on to the people of what you can recycle, what you can't recycle. And it has gone up from 2000, I'd say, when they started to get very educated about it, 2010 until present, that we were up to over 200 tons more of pure recyclable materials than when we just started throwing everything away. Now, 200 tons is an awful lot. Our hauler, our vendor right now, he himself, when he went out to redistrict and remap the entire town, because he just could not fulfill his obligations, picking up in 3 days and picking up especially recyclables every other week. It's because you people with due diligence are recycling excellent, excellent. To the point that his recycle truck was emptying every single day to come back and fill up again. When you look at 22,057 tons,
2,200.
2,257 tons, that's tremendous. That is tremendous. What we like to say is keep up the good work. I often wonder, our sister neighboring town, Rehoboth, who has no services provided to the people, what the cost these people are with that dumpster in their front yard being picked up every week. It's got to be horrendous. Again, keep up the good work. I think the people are very educated now in recycling. They're attuned to it, and continue to do so. This weekly pickup of not only your trash, but also your recyclables is going to create less storage in your garage and, you know, all the things that go along with it as far as the odors and what have you. So I think we're on the right track. It'll probably cost us, you know, a few extra dollars, but we have tied up our vendor now for 3 years at a very, very minimal second and third year increase. Much less than what his annual increase always was. So congratulations, and keep up the good work.
And just to add to that, to give you an idea of average costs for the past year that ended, fiscal year that ended June 30th, 2016, the average cost per month for trash pickup was $10,975. So that's an average, that $10,000 per month is 4 pickups, because during that time period, we had trash pickup every week. And for curbside recycling, the average cost per month was $6,408.33. Now, in addition to the trash that goes to CMAS, the incinerator, which is now owned by Covanta, there is our recycling in materials, depending upon what those recyclable materials are, go to different places. So there is an additional cost of $140 per load to take what is considered bulky waste to New Bedford, their NBWS, and then there is $140 per load for other types of recyclables that can go to another location in New Bedford. And then there is a cost of $140 per load for a third recycling location. So when you put that out there, and obviously you go back and get the empty bins, and thank goodness, that's gone for another week. This just doesn't end up being dumped in one location. Part of the contract requires that it go to separate locations depending upon what it is. So all of that is included in the cost of the trash pickup budget in total. So when you think about what we spend for trash removal and recyclables, and the amount of tonnage has increased significantly, I think most people in Dayton would agree, it's well worth the money. It certainly is convenient, and the 5-day schedule with the weekly pickup now of recyclables, that's really good. And so as Dean said, keep up the good work, folks. The more you recycle, the less plastic bags you're going to use. And that's exactly what we're hoping, is that the recycling continues to increase. Any public input? Does anybody have anything? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Oh, I do have something.
Oh, excuse me, sir.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Would you identify yourself and tell us your...
Tom Berkman, I'm from 3076 Hunters Hill Drive.
Mhm.
I put in a volunteer application, I don't know if I got it to your desk.
Okay, that's Board of Selectmen. That'll be the next
Oh, we're in
meeting.
the wrong, I'm in the wrong.
This is the
one.
Board of Health.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So at 7:30, the
That's
Board...
what I know, I'm interested in something, you know what, we need to-
That's all right, that's all
That's all
right.
laugh when you find out what I put in.
That's all right. The Board of Selectmen will meet at 7:30.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so just stick
So
around.
The board must be somewhere else.
Planning Board is downstairs, and I think zoning's meeting, conservation too, I think, because I saw Mr. Mello.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A huge crowd for this one. All right.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second that motion.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. So we'll see you in about 15 minutes, okay? Thank
Oh,
you.
that's all right, that's all right.
I saw somebody